And we're back. All right, so it's time for that job, yo.
Let's do this.
I'm ready.
All right. Do you wanna assemble the engagement roll here?
Is the operation particularly bold or daring? I think undercover in Rowan Tower, the last functional family noble tower in Duskfall. Yes, that's bold and daring. Plus 1D.
Oh, good.
Plans detail expose the vulnerability of the target and hit them where they're weakest. They're servants. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah,
Okay.
2D.
Yeah.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid? We've done that. We're at the
Okay.
3D. And I think that's it.
I think we're at minus 1D because of their tier, unless you're saying that their tier doesn't apply because we're not trying to go against like where they're strong.
And I think you're going into you're walking into their house, so I think that's going to be the minus 1D.
I think so. So you always start with 1 die, and we were at plus 3, so I believe that we're at 3 dice.
Sounds good.
Is it cool if I roll it?
Go for it. I
Very
believe in you.
cool.
Engagement roll. That was almost so bad.
It's so right.
2, 2, 6. All right, rad. Oh wait, I guess. Hang on,
Cool.
let me switch the screen so that everyone can see the rolls. But yeah, the cool. So yeah, controlled position to start. Let's go.
Yeah, so you know that there are 6 towers around Duskfall, and you've clearly seen them,
Yep.
but you never thought to go inside one, and now you are. And a Rowan family guard. I think this starts with you both leading horses into the Rowan family compound, and the gate closes behind you. As the guard is saying something like, this gruff old guy, a retired soldier, was saying, yeah, we expected you a couple days ago, so we're glad you're here. Lord Rowan will be down in a bit.
Oh, good.
And
All right.
Hold on. Just looking at. Yeah. He says, Ruby, show them where the stables are. And this little girl comes over and says, "Come on, she's you can tell from her dress that she's a servant."
Okay. Yeah, we'll follow her.
We will follow.
I will try to treat her like an adult and make her feel like I'm one of those cool people that doesn't belittle kids or think of them as, kids.
Cool. Yeah, she says, come on, we have to take them to the stables, and she's like pointing things out to you, and she was like, that's the barracks. That's where they keep the cannon. That's the stairs up to the Rowan laboratory and the Rowan library. This way. And she walks you to the stables.
At the Rowan laboratory, I definitely give Maya the look, and then I'll keep leading the horses towards the stables. Do they already have Deathlands horses, or do they just have normal horses?
Normal horses.
Okay.
Normal horses. So yeah, these are definitely like a breed apart from what they're used to. I think the horses they have are like carriage horses.
I think I actually like stable the horses, which among other things involves like brushing them and things like that. And I actually see if like the girl, and it's hilarious because I am probably like Maya. If you like, however you trained me, like if you're just like, okay, this is how you calm a horse, like I am doing the exact things that you told me. I'm teaching the girl, right? Like I'm like, like just blowing their nose and like, now they're just as scared of you as you are of them, and like I'm like, here, do you want to give him a real treat? And then I look around and conspiratorially give her like a small sugar cube, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah, she's thrilled. And then she seems very scared and walks away, like just out of nowhere. And there's uh, a man standing there, kind of with his arms crossed, black polished boots, and high waisted pants, and a white button up shirt, and the kind of the Rowan crest on his cravat. And he says, "So, you're Cesareth."
Is he addressing me or Maya? I forget which one of us is which. What are our aliases, just so that I can keep them straight?
The horse trainer, who I believe is you, is Cesareth.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm the horse trainer. Excellent.
Oh, that's good. Excellent.
And then his wife and partner is Brina.
Oh, yeah, this is so Sherlock Holmes and Watson fanfic.
Do we have last names?
Yes. Dava.
I of course spell it with an apostrophe. Okay. I think I pull down my cap and I clutch it to my chest, appearing every inch the slightly nervous servant who is facing a house lord, and I bow my head. I say like, yes sir, and I give him a I mentioned that I don't prattle too long, but I give just enough of a prattle that like he can read that I'm nervous. And I'm just like, yes, obviously, yes, I'm Cesareth. I'm the person that breeds / maintains / raises the horses, kind of thing. And I'm like, this is my wife, Brina, who who usually teaches riding and things like that. Like,
oh, very good.
Huh?
He says, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you." And I think he like politely, maybe he like kisses your hand, but not really in a sleazy way. In a polite way. He says, I'm sorry that you had to take the train. It's just that if you had come to the gates, there's no way to get you through customs. And there are ways to get around that, but right now things with that are really complicated.
Maya, you're a far better talker here.
Yeah, I think I feigned like ignorance, and I'm like, oh, complicated. Like, what on earth? What complications could you possibly have? Being the lord of the house.
Okay, you wanna make your controlled standard roll? You wanna dig?
Yeah, I want to question.
I'm gonna spend a stress to assist you because, I feel like setting up the whole aliases and playing to the trope is helping him believe that you are harmless, and saying things like this is not going to be a problem.
Sounds good. I do not know the customs of this land.
Well, it's okay, because we're actually playing Severosi.
Excellent. So what was the position and effect again, sorry?
Controlled and standard.
Sweet. Oh, I got a 6 in the mix.
Nice.
Good days.
he pinches his nose and says, "Oh God, I could tell you by the gods. The I doubt this comes straight from the emperor. Long may he reign. But some members of his court are a little paranoid, and they're tearing the city apart, looking for some contraband, and it's just a lot of nonsense. I don't know how it works out in the Deathlands where you're from, but here we have the law, and then we have these things called an imperial mandate. And anyway, it just means that someone close to the emperor has lied to him and has told him some things that aren't true, and so he has sent someone who unfortunately is from out of town, so they don't have the benefit of knowing the intricacies of what's going on, and they stumble into a lot of misconceptions, and it just causes trouble for the entire city. It's a huge waste of resources. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with desk wall politics. Let's look at these beautiful steeds you brought here.
I think during that convoy, I for sure lean into Drov and be like, what is an imperial mandate? But like loud enough for him. Loud enough that he can hear.
I think Drov probably answers you, but it's so like Drov usually I think that's what I'm gonna play it up as. I think I play it up as like we can talk later, not in his lordship's presence or whatever. But I think I will probably just talk about exactly the research that I did on the horses beforehand, like where I studied and repeated like, aspects of breed and how you can tell that it's good because of blah, 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 and it's forelocks and all that stuff. Like, look at the hooves. This is how you tell that it's actually been ridden in the Deathlands and yada, yada, yada.
Cool.
So yeah, I actually try to convince him that, his investment in the horses or whatever is appropriate. But it's not related to the crime or anything else. I'm just basically reciting lists of facts I've memorized.
Yeah. Controlled standard.
Cool. What is this? Relate to like
Sure.
Dramatides?
Yeah.
Huh?
Can I
That makes sense.
Can I throw an assist to like?
Absolutely you can.
I think this totally looks like sort of horse whispering-esque, like getting very close to the horse's face and like sort of stroking it, and like, oh, like you can tell this one has a lot of like confidence and integrity, and like if you look at those eyes, they share a deep soul.
Judd, what did you say the position and effect was?
Controlled standard.
All right, awesome. And I get an extra die from Maya. Is that correct?
I believe Maya said she was helping, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. Boop. All right, I only get a 4, and that has a consequence. I think I posted it earlier. So I can withdraw and try a different approach, or do it with a minor consequence. A minor complication occurs, I have reduced effect, I suffer lesser harm, or I end up in a risky position.
Okay. Do you want to withdraw and try a different approach?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm okay with this going risky. Like maybe I have to demonstrate by taking him for a ride or something. That feels pretty risky because I know a lot less about riding horses than I do about a list of traits. But like it's your call. It could be it could just be reduced effect. We may have to make another roll to convince him, or
Yeah,
I think we up with the offer.
I think he says like this really isn't the quality of horses that I had hoped in the wire. I've got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed.
what has Maya told me about this? Because this is a great time for a flashback.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, it has to be a flashback to like, it's totally a flashback to like when I was trying to convince you to ride this horse, right? Like, and that is when I imparted upon you like the facts, like, no, this horse is like, very safe and stable, and like, you can be assured that it's like a safe, good ride across the Deathlands and everything. Does that sound good?
Yeah,
Okay. So I think that I think that maybe I look at the Lord and I say like, have you ridden across the Deathlands before, my lord?
I have not, and I hope I never have to.
Then what are you purchasing these fine steeds for? Is it like for his daughter or something? I don't know.
Because I want them. Because there could be a time when getting from one side of the city to the other quickly is important.
I nod and I say, far be it from me to question any reason why having beautiful steeds in your stables is a bad idea. But the only way that you will be prepared for such a day is if you perhaps give these steeds a ride. I can tell you their traits and I can explain to you their looks, but the only way to know the quality of a steed is to feel it beneath yourself. And I'm like, could I perhaps convince you to either you yourself or perhaps someone that you trust, a member of your family, might give them a go?
All right, let's give them a ride around the courtyard. Here we go.
Okay. There are three steeds, so Maya, you're probably, first in line here, but I'm okay with making the like risky roll to not appear like a complete klutz that's never ridden a horse. Yeah. I just don't have any idea what the hell that is. Is it is that exploit because I'm kind of lying? Like I really don't know.
Ugh.
Oh, actually, you know what? No. I got this. So, Judd.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a different mechanism to deal with this problem. I have a grand plan, and that grand plan is I think I'm gonna try a prowess resist. Because I think what's happening is I'm just resisting the consequence, and I'm trying to use my natural, like, physical ability and grace. Like, we were talking off stream, so for those people that don't know this, Bluecoats can gain one of the scoundrel abilities from Blaze in the Dark, and one of the scoundrel abilities that I've been eyeing up is Prowl. And so, I think once upon a time I actually had Prowl. It's probably a lot less these days. But, I think that's a thing that I do. I think I probably, just rely on my physical prowess and like my use to like running along rooftops and like just being generally of good balance to try and mitigate his suspicions. So I'm going to roll some risky dice. I hope I don't trauma. I might. Here we go.
Oh no.
Well, it is what it is. Whoa, that is oh, I am at max and not trauma. Excellent. I have no more stress. Yay. This mission. Good.
Oh dear.
That's fine. 2 2s. It is what it is. That's why we play games with dice. But I do assuage his suspicions.
Yes. He rides it around and with you all, and he says, "You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm going to need you to train me and a couple of family members. We don't have to do that right away. I know you wanted to spend some time in Duskfall and see the sights. So let me, Ruby?" And like she like appears and he says, "Show them to their rooms." And she says, "Okay." And he gets down off the horse and hands the reins to you and says, "We will break fast tomorrow. I'll have a nice meal in your rooms tonight. Have it private. Get yourself cleaned up. Get the road off of you, and the horrid train ride, and we'll break fast tomorrow. Okay? Welcome to Rowan Tower."
I bow appropriately.
Likewise.
And after you stable the horses, Ruby walks you to like the servants' quarters, but the really nice part, and you are given a room.
I have a couple of questions. The first question being, is it a private room?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's like the fact that this is the servants' quarters are ridiculous.
Is it bigger than my apartment?
It's bigger than your precinct.
Wow.
It's huge. It's unimaginably huge. It's a floor. It's huge. It's not a floor, but it's like a corner of the tower. You have this view of Dusk Vault that you've never seen before. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. You've never seen it from this high up. You've never seen it from this high up, and you're not even a third up.
I definitely tell Rob, like, oh, the only better view you can get of Duskfall is one from the Deathlands.
I think Drav just like gives you this look and then realizes that you're not uncomfortable in this room. And all he says is, you can have the bed, I'll take the couch.
If you're sure. I feel like we won't be sleeping much this evening. There is work to be done.
And there's a knock at the door, and a butler lets himself in, and like a team of butlers walks in with trays and like puts up tables. And I think like the words, I don't think we'll be sleeping much tonight, there's work to be done, has like just fallen out of your lips. Is like the butlers walk in and like put the tables down and like put out the meal.
I think Drav just like watches Maya for reactions because he has no clue what he's doing here. He's just like, there's more forks than I have in my house. So like, it's just, you know,
it's a ridiculous meal. I mean, it's just like real meat and like yeah.
I have a hilarious question. Do they measure us for house livery? Because like all the servants probably have the same colors, the house colors.
Right.
So okay. So like I don't know if we're becoming part of his staff or if he's just holding us on retainer and we can dress however we want.
The feeling you got was like that's on the table, but no one was like it wasn't a sure thing.
Okay.
Like he could woo you into that, but
all right. That sounds good. I feel like actually this is an interesting question. Can I so like I want to take an action here. Usually like you have to do a thing in the fiction, but I'm actually just testing the waters to see if this is okay. Like if I want to, so this is a thing that I'm better at, and I think that this is a thing that maybe I try here, which is like I want to try and like maybe ingratiate myself with the serving staff so that it's not unusual if, for example, I show up in the kitchens at odd hours because like people are having a drink, or like I get to like listen to gossip and hang out with them, so that it's not we are outsiders and this is the staff. It's like, awesome. Hey, we're just servants, right? Like let's just talk and hang out because like, you know, yeah, I work with weird horses, but like all of us do whatever. So
good job.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's my position and effect here in trying to like get friendly with some of the serving staff to like talk to them and like seem okay?
Risky great.
Awesome. I have no stress, so I'm just gonna roll it.
Can I throw you an assist die, perhaps?
Do you have an idea how you would do that?
Ooh. Perhaps, I don't know, are any of them Severosi, like,
They're not.
Oh, damn it.
Wait, hold on. Let's roll a die and see.
That's good.
I'm willing to let a die decide.
Also, the other thing you could do is, like, you could, like, tempt some of them into being like, look, maybe on the DL, we can teach you how to ride a horse, huh? Well,
that was my backup plan if there were no Severosi.
Okay. There are no Severosi in that.
Yeah, then I'll be like, hey, we can have a little bit of fun here. This like we can take you for a sneaky like midnight ride around the courtyard or some other time. Like, you know,
Cool.
All right. So how do we feel about that, Jed? Is that worth a die?
Yeah, that's worth a die.
Right, let's go. 6. All right. So no consequences and great effect.
Yes, Mr. Deva. You are welcome in the kitchens anytime. You are not a member of the team yet, but we are all hoping that you join. Your work with training horses is well renowned, and we would be honored to have you here with us in the Rowan house.
I'll still have to get used to saying something like that. I smile at the servants, but I'm like, thank you for your kindness.
And as the head butler leaves, one of the younger butlers says, "Do you play cards?"
Do I? I actually named like 4 or 5 like different games, some of which are popular here, some of which are not. All of which I know how to deal under the deck with.
He says, "I'll come get you."
I think I, like, as they step out and I close the door, I turn around and I give Maya this, like, disbelieving, like, my skill with horses is renowned.
I think Maya's even, like, a tiny bit pissed off. Like, if all the people like, oh yeah, like, you're the one with all the horses. And Maya's like, I saw you in the stable. You wouldn't even, like, get on the back of one, not even for a try, and yet here you are, renowned horse master.
I say, why Miss, no, I wouldn't break character. I say, why Miss Dava, is that jealousy I hear in your tone? And I pick up some, like, particular, like a sweetmeat or something, like, off the plate. I'm like, could I assuage your anger with, an entreatment of this? And I actually, like, poke it. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is not goat. So...
Yeah.
I think, like, Maya, like, gives you a very sweet smile and then, like, looks down at, like, one of the forks and is like, perhaps, but this is the one that you need to, like, consume that particular meat, my dear.
Awesome.
I think it dawns on Drav that, like, when they were going around the courtyard, there were chickens in the courtyard. And, like, you've never seen chickens before. And now, oh shit, we're eating chickens. Like, you get it. Like, oh, wow, they just let them run around and now we eat them? That's fucking crazy. Like, you've never fucking seen chicken. Like, you've just never, like, you've definitely never eaten chicken before, you know?
Yeah.
How is the texture?
I think what I say is, like, this job is not sugar and spice most of the time. Like, I'm one of the few cops in the precinct that's, like, not on any take. I'm like, but goddamn, do I actually appreciate the mandate today? Like, look at this! It's a berry, and it's red, and I eat it.
I think Maya's, like, very endeared by that, and, like, perhaps is, like, in a different life, perhaps you and I could find a comfortable home here as a master horseman.
I think that actually drains a lot of the, like, jokiness out of Drav, and he goes, like, yeah, a different life. And you hear that like hardness come back up, right? And sort of, like, by the end of the meal, you're actually seeing him doing, like, one-handed card shuffles.
Oh,
yeah. So
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that night, the younger butler, his name is Cobb.
cool.
Comes to get you.
Awesome.
You ready to play some cards?
Always.
Here we go. And yeah, they meet in one of the they meet in, like, the butlers basically have a barracks, and they push a bunch of beds together and they sit on the floor and get like a big piece of wood and put it on the beds and then make a table and start dealing cards.
Is this a lot like a poker night where, like, everybody picks a particular form of card game when it's their turn and we just go in circles? Yep. Is it like a friendly game, or are they actually playing for money? Like real
They're
money.
they're playing for money, but
It's peanuts. It's penny ante.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. I
Anything in
think
particular you want to?
I'm testing certain waters. I checked to see, are they drinking while they're doing this?
Hmm. Yes.
Cool. And in which case, I'm going to produce. Well, actually, we didn't pick gear. We probably should pick gear. Um,
Well, you can do that now, right? Because we're not playing Band of Blades, which was written by some savage who didn't let us pick our gear.
well, I mean, I like you pick
Mission
your gear. It's
started.
just at the beginning of the mission. I think we're gonna bring subterfuge supplies. That's the closest that I can get to this, and maybe even burglary gear. Ooh. Um, I think I produce a Severosi drink because it's part of my disguise, right? Like I add it to the pot, and then I'm testing them, right? Like I'll test them to see if like anybody like knows what a mechanic's grip is, you know, like I'll see how much people are drinking, and I'm also like scanning them to try and clock whether any of them have like master keyring sets with them, because
Cool.
like specifically what I'm looking for is keys to that alchemy lab and private library. Like I'm less interested in like people's bedrooms, and I'm more interested in like, you know, things like that.
Controlled great.
Wait,
Oh, I don't know how you're doing it.
I
Tell
need
me
an
again.
action.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
um,
I gotta stop doing
I
that.
think no, it's fine, it's fine. I think it's just relate again, right? Like I think it's just me putting them at their ease, distracting them, and like using my consort to like give myself the opportunity in the openings, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Amazing again. With the delightful tales of the Deathlands, now that we're off like sort of the darker hours of the evening, and like sort of recounting tales of the Sivarosi drink that we're providing people.
Oof, no, I fail. Something goes wrong. What? I rolled 2 threes, so it's a complete miss. It's gonna put me in a risky position. The good news about Controlled is that it never just tanks outright, right? Like, it's, you're blocked or you falter, I can press on by seizing a risky opportunity, or withdraw and try a different approach.
Yeah.
So,
You falter. Press on. One of the servants uh, is named Weaver. And he says, so where in the Deathlands are you from? And you can tell he's onto you.
okay. Okay, no problem. I think I'm just gonna have to, like, exploit my way out of this, right? Like, I would like to flashback to more information from Maya. Dear God, please help me. And I think that I'm just like, I'm not from the Deathlands, man. That's not how it works. Like, you know, in Severus there are forts, and I talk about like you know, kids aren't born in the Ghostlands. We live in cities and towns. We're not barbarians. And I start using some of the like weaving in some of the information, and then like slowly turn the conversation, right? Like I don't just be like, shut up, stop talking, but I'm just like blah 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 blah, and that reminds me of, and then like I try to let me tell you a story. Like here is a funny story about horses, and I
Cool.
tell something that ends up with something like appropriately lowbrow humor with a horse pooping or something. I don't know, but
Yeah. Awesome.
all right, Maya, could you would you be ever so kind in assisting me here?
Oh, of course, yes. I fondly recount those evenings where you indulge me in talking about my sort of stories from the Deathlands and my time growing up there and exactly where I lived.
Awesome. So we at least have a common city. All right. So tell me, what effect is this? I'm going with exploit, which is obviously lying.
Controlled standard.
Oh, okay.
Or
So
not
different.
controlled.
No,
I'm
actually,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
this is a
No,
different.
no, no.
Risky.
It's risky. It's
Yeah, risky
risky.
standard.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
that
the,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I was reading controlled and I meant risky. Yeah.
All right, cool. Here we go. 4. I partially succeed.
Right.
I'm gonna have to take whatever consequence comes with this.
Yeah, I think you take some harm.
Harm?
And I think, yeah,
Ooh, I didn't see this coming.
yeah. I think you talk your way out of it, but like you can feel this pit in your stomach from being undercover.
Okay.
Like,
all right. So what kind of harm is it? Is it like a psychological harm in terms of like
yeah,
I've just got
yes.
like worry, like I'm out of my depth, or is this
Yep.
okay?
Yep. It's just fear or something, you know.
Yeah, wait. I might have a thing for this. 1 second. Shoot, I just closed my sheet. Haha. I'm natural born police. I can expend special armor to resist a consequence from skullduggery, or push myself in the line of duty. Technically, I'm the one doing skullduggery.
Right.
I don't know if it would apply here. Would it apply here?
I feel like it does.
Okay, because I am a cop and I am undercover and I'm using my... Okay, so I technically my special armor is still marked because I didn't uncheck it at the end of the mission last time, but I haven't done it this mission, obviously. So yeah, I'll expend my special armor. Now tell me, does it reduce the harm or does it negate the harm? Because it says resist a consequence. It could be a full resist, it could be a partial resist.
I'm going to say it's a partial.
Okay, cool. So I'm still going to put level 1 harm afraid.
And yeah, Cobb and Weaver and everybody laugh at your story and like start nodding. And they're like, take it easy, Weaver. Goodness. Not everybody's out to get the Rowan family. And he was like, you never know. Wouldn't put it past the Strangfords to send in a spy all the way out from the Deathlands. Or I'm sorry, from a village or fort out in the Deathlands.
Different continent entirely. I actually ask him, like, who are the Strangfords? As if I have no idea. But I'm looking for a name. Like, I'm looking for what the hell is the beef between the Strangfords and the Rowans. Or at least, what do the servants know about the beef?
Yeah, they say, oh, don't worry about them. They won't be around for long. And like, there's kind of like a chuckle. And it's like, these old families, they've got feuds that go back to who knows when and gods know what.
Well, if they've been around since the founding, which the Strangfords, I think, have.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're going to be gone so soon?
Because when the McClellans, the Rowans, and the Bowmores all put their minds to something, usually happens. I don't know if it's United Front so much anymore. I mean, I feel like the Bowmores are kind of pissed, and like they all look at like at Cobb, who said that, and they're like you shouldn't have said that in front of us, like an outsider. You know, he's not on the inside yet.
I shrug and I say, is this all high society politics? Are the Beaumonts pissed because of something that Lord Rowan did?
Bowmores, they're arguing about something. It's way above our pay grade. Weaver says, not my pay grade. And they're like, yeah, Weaver, you're the special go-to man. All right. You got caught stealing here, Weaver. That's why you're here. Let's just make that clear. It was this or Iron Hook. Fuck you, Cobb.
Do I know who we... Oh, okay, cool. Weaver got caught stealing, huh? Alright. No wonder he's fucking raiding me. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play cards and back away from the scary shit and touch base with my inspector friend the next... Oh, you never answered my question about the keys. Do any of them have master keys?
Um, great question.
You can make a fortune roll, or you could just say yes or no. I don't know.
I'm gonna say no. No, they don't.
Huh. So the Romans protect their stuff pretty well, huh? Okay. I think I'm gonna go back and compare notes with my roommate. Yeah, so Maya, I'm gonna lay it out. I'm like, look, I think we have an angle, right? Like if Weaver was caught stealing, that tells me that either A, he has connections with crews, which I can find out, or B, the Bluecoats may know, and it might give us leverage to get him to like either roll or crack on some of the people. But I've made no progress in actually. I know that the Strangfords are apparently having tiffs, noble tiffs with these guys, and I'm gonna guess, and I know that they're having tiffs with the Beaumonts as well, which we know. Those are the two names that came up, right? It was
Beaumont and
Finn Beaumont and Lizette Rowan.
Yeah.
So I don't know everything that this is about, but I feel like maybe the next leg of this is yours. Particularly if you're coaching people with horses, you might be able to pull some information out. I really wish I could help you, but I'm out of stress.
Totally fine. I feel like we're getting close to some levers we can pull. You're right. We just need to sort of like push a bit more to sort of like really get something tangible from them.
Cool. That morning, you're invited to breakfast on the upper veranda, which is the top of the fucking tower. And up there, there's a garden. And it's a Victorian skyscraper. You know, it's a Victorian fortress skyscraper. And the view from the top third was ridiculous. This view is ludicrous. You can see like the Deathlands horizon. You know, you can watch trains come in and out. The city looks like a toy. The Imperator, which is the imperial ship at dock, looks like, which is like a tremendous battleship, looks like a toy. It is a ridiculous view, and they've clearly brought you up here to woo you. And Lord Rowan says, "Welcome. This is where we're going to have breakfast this morning."
I look suitably impressed. Do they have a sunstone up here?
Yes.
I comment on that, right? Like, I'm just like, your very own sunstone. That explains the wonderful plants that you have, you know, and I compliment him on the tower, kind of like seeming impressed, but also I'm playing it kind of like I'm trying to impress you, you know, like imagine a servant being like, oh look, I know things about plants. So yeah.
The Rowans have a saying that I think you, Severosi, will understand. It's that good fortifications make good neighbors. All of the other noble founding families, they've gotten rid of their towers, and we've held on to ours because it's an important part of who we are. And he just, you know, kind of talks about the different families' towers and like when they lost the tower and when the tower burned down, and he basically like points out all the other towers that families don't currently have and why they don't have them. And that's breakfast. Like that's what he does, is he dishes shit on the problems of all the other families. And then he gets up and he says, "Darling," and it's his daughter Lizette, who looks every bit the Victorian Paris Hilton of Deskball. And she walks in with this kind of ridiculous, very, very, very high collar, so that she has to like hold her neck up in a weird way. And she's like, "Father, I need some coin. I'm going out. I'm going to the night market." And he goes, "But I thought you were going to take a lesson." "I'll take a lesson another time. They're not going anywhere." She's like, dear, we don't know how long they're staying. They have not accepted my offer. They're not, they're not, they don't have house livery yet. And he goes, please, I heard he just came here because he wants to spark up anyway. And he goes, I will not have you being rude to my guests in my house. She was like, sorry. Who's giving the horse lesson?
I make a gesture to Maya, a gracious gesture.
And I think Maya, takes off her hat in like a sweeping sort of bow to indicate that she will be the one taking dear Miss Lizette Rowan on for her lesson.
Fine. When you're done with your stupid eggs, meet me in the courtyard. Welcome to Duskfall, by the way. Welcome to Rowan House.
Well, thank you. The hospitality has been spectacular.
Yeah,
she goes.
She's gone. Like as soon as I started to interrupt you, she was gone. But most spectacular is like said to her back as she's walking away.
Nice.
And Lord Rowan doesn't quite want to apologize because that's a bad look, but he's clearly uncomfortable. I
think I give him a chance to sort of like regain his face. I make a very simple suggestion, which is I say, well, if your lovely daughter seeks to go to night market and do some shopping, perhaps the lesson can take place in such a fashion that shows off your wonderful new steeds on the way there.
If you think that would be appropriate, Madame Deval, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
I'm basically trying to like separate the girl from like her house guards and all the people that are watching, right. Also to like give us an opening to see sort of the activities that she undertakes, because we know that among other things she sells drugs. So but like I make it seem like everything's fine, we understand this, we've dealt with people that are a little prissy before, and we are willing to cooperate, right? Like, there's nothing to apologize for, we know how this goes.
Very discreet.
Yeah. Alright, cool. You're up.
Excellent.
So, a few soldiers with rifles and fixed bayonets are following you at like a block's distance as you leave the Rowan house. And she rolls her eyes and she's like, could we lose these losers, please? Are these horses capable of that?
I think like Maya like gives her like a kind of wicked grin, right? And it's like, oh, I thought you would never ask, Miss Rowan. Of course, these horses can outrun anything.
Fantastic. And yeah, I think you two take off. We don't need to make a roll for that. And when she sees, when you guys go over a bridge into night market, I mean, it's basically like two people riding Ferraris around Duskfall, right? Like horses are not seen like this. It's ridiculous. Ferraris that can easily get sick and die at like any time, right? Because horses just get sick and die. So yeah, people are gawking at you two.
Oh gosh.
So what's special about these horses again? They're from the Deathlands or some shit?
Oh, yes, but special is subjective. We have plenty of these steeds out in the Deathlands, if you're bold enough to venture out there. You take me as quite a daring woman, Miss Rowan.
Oh, I would imagine that, like, you know a way to get out past the electric barrier?
I have my ways.
Bullshit.
I think Maya cocks an eyebrow at her. She says, no, it is not bullshit. It is not even horseshit.
Take me to the Deathlands then.
You really? You wish to someone like such as yourself venture outside? I would not think you had the guts.
Sure, I'll go out.
Well, if it pleases you, I know a particularly scenic rise in which you can observe the Deathlands in all their majesty.
Cool. Yeah, like, so you and Issa are Deathlanders. Like, you guys are warded and like you know how to do this. She is not. Like, she shouldn't be going out there without a mask or without some serious warding. So, yeah, I leave that up to you, but
I know
Is this the
that
kind
I
of thing you can acquire?
yeah, totally.
Like there are arcane implements on our gear lists. Now, usually they mean like dust and bone bits and things like that. But I mean, it could also just mean like gear for going out for you, like warding for the Deathlands.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Awesome.
Yeah, sure. I of course like have that packed into my saddlebags.
Yes.
Who
Awesome.
knows when you need to venture out to the Deathlands to release some stress.
Yeah, and I think like you go through Issa's back way through the Lost District, out into the Deathlands, which is a crazy thing to know how to do. Like, yeah, but you take her out there. This is fucking crazy. I've never been out past the lightning barrier in my life.
It's quite invigorating, is it not? I think like it's that sort of my like wind in the hair kind of thing. It's like we're riding out in the Deathlands. I look at my element.
Yeah, she gets it. Man, it all looks like such what a petty shithole that place is.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks, Brina. You're pretty cool.
Oh, I could say the same for yourself. You have quite the spirit about you.
I know I come off as harsh, but it's just what I have to do to get by here. I'm sorry.
Trust me. Oh, the little time I've spent in the city, I understand one must develop a thick skin to get one's way.
Yeah, no doubt.
But surely this can't be the only way to blow off steam in these parts. There must be other things one can do inside the walls that doesn't require risking death every day.
Oh, there are definitely ways to blow off steam, and we will definitely be showing you them.
Oh, fantastic. I was going to ask, since I have shown you how I prefer to let my hair down, perhaps you and I could partake in the same within the city walls.
Partake, you say? What kind of things are you interested in partaking of?
Oh, I am so new to the city. I've only heard whispers of the kinds of delights the city has to offer.
Are you trying to steer her into not just drugs but specific drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you want to use an action to sort of
Yeah, I totally do. What action is this?
I mean, could be exploit, could be relate, could be any number of things.
Yeah, I feel like it could be an exploit just because I definitely have like an ulterior motive for getting in with her that is not in her interests. Like it's not like I'm trying to relate to you to like to sort of earnestly get along with you. There's definitely a sort of a duplicitous nature about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sweet. I feel like I would like to expand my special armor to. Hang on. Is this pushing myself in the line of duty?
I feel like you are.
If that's cool, I will spend my special armor to get an extra die on my exploit.
Cool.
And what's my position?
Controlled, which is the only time you get a controlled thing in the Deathlands. It's crazy. Controlled limited. She's still guarded.
Excellent. Let's see how this goes. I got a 6.
Well, no consequences, right? You're making progress, right? It's limited, but it's progress.
Totally.
I wish I could get you some ghoul. It's really amazing. It's really a cool way to see the city. You leave your body and you wander around like a ghost. You can do it for I did it for 6 hours the other day.
Wow.
It's just a crazy way to see the city, but Dad's gotten really uptight about it, and I just can't get my hands on it anymore.
Oh, that is such a shame. I've heard stories of such experiences on the Deathlands through arcane ritual. It would be such a delight to get to experience just a taste of it.
Oh yeah, no shit. That stuff came from the Deathlands, right? Have you heard of it?
Well, I only know of its Sivarosi name.
What's that?
I make up a name that sounds really
do we actually have a Sivarosi name for the drug? Because I'm sure there's drug slang everywhere.
Right.
Does it appear in Severos at all, or is it completely non-existent there?
I think,
or does the local Severosi community have a drug name for it that maybe is applicable?
So maybe they call it Gast.
Okay.
Which is just another name for ghoul, right? Oh,
yes.
Man. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, I heard it came out from the Deathlands somewhere. I don't know where. And I don't know. It's weird stuff. We don't even know how it gets made. Anyway.
How does she get it if she doesn't know these things? Because if she's selling it to the Red Sashes, she has to have a different source.
Right.
Maya, it's all you.
No, I was going to say, perhaps, I may be able to pull some strings. I'm so very desperate to get my hands on some to give it a try. Is there someone in the city I can talk to?
Man, there's nobody. There's some kind of big kerfluffle about it. The Bowmores want some. Not even Bowmore Jr., Bowmore fucking Senior wants some. I don't know what it's about. Yeah. I mean, he's about to die anyways. Who gives a fuck? Maybe he just wants to walk around, actually be able to walk. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, he's rattling cages. That's all because his son Finn is a fuck up and he lost all theirs.
Perhaps.
Because he wants to play scoundrel out on the streets.
I know those types.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, perhaps I shall investigate, and perhaps if I come upon some, you and I can have a delightful night out before we leave.
That'd be amazing. Great.
Just
be careful looking out for it. Seriously, because there's an Imperial investigator, and she's just she's knocking down fucking doors to get this shit. I mean, she's all over the place. So don't get pulled in. I mean, if you get pulled in, I don't even know what Dad's going to do. I don't even think he's going to be able to bail you out.
Oh, I will take care of myself.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Strash?
I was just double checking. Did she say that her previous source was the Bowmores or?
I don't think she specifically said who her sources were.
Can I maybe question her to see if I can maybe get that name out of her?
Yeah. Go ahead. Drop some questions.
Excellent.
I mean, we're rolling on that 6, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Interview, sweat, pressure. That's perfect.
Yeah. What is my position and effect for a question?
Oh no. I mean, we don't need a roll. I think
okay.
we're still.
Yeah. Then. Yeah, I'll be like, you know, sometimes people you just need to ask the right questions of people to see if they can, you know, get you what you want, and perhaps I can leverage something to
Well, I don't know. I mean, I dropped some out into the red sashes, but you don't want to take any of that because that's going to be all cut and it's going to be bullshit. So don't get any of that. If you get any from any Eruvians, don't take it. And I don't even know if there's any left because the fucking Imperial magistrate fucking suddenly was there. Goddamn, it's just ridiculous.
Well, what is my best? If I were to perhaps procure some, where should I start?
Well, the Bowmores definitely don't have any because their shit got fucked up on the bridge. You heard about that? That shooting?
Oh, something in the paper.
Yes. Yep. It was in the paper. Yeah, this asshole Inkrake's been writing all about it. Anyway, if you take Dad, he'll freak out. I mean, the McClellans might have some, but I mean, I don't know how you'd want to ask them. I would stick to your Severosi connects.
Oh,
if it's not someone you know or really trust, I wouldn't go asking around about it.
I mean, you yourself can't pull some strings?
Maybe. I mean, I heard there's some spirit wardens fucking selling it.
Really?
Whoa, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean,
this is not good.
How the fuck do you even approach those guys?
No,
So you know, it's not exactly I can like just party girl my way up to them. I would say the McClellans are your best bet. I mean, most of they're really hard asses though. I mean, it's like they sleep in Bluecoats. You know what I mean? Really gross.
Indeed.
They're just gross. Practically servants.
Indeed. Well,
We can get some, by the way, in case you need to draw some bribes.
I mean, it's just a matter of time before someone hits that Dunslow precinct, because I bet there's like a wad in there.
There is.
I will see what I can do, Miss Rowan. And when I do, you and I shall have a grand night out.
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. You should take some of my coin and go hire the Dimmer sisters to get it out of the Dunslow precinct.
I get the feeling that's quite a drastic measure.
That's fucking insane.
You know what? If she wants to give us money, you can tell her that we can probably get some from the Dunslow precinct. But like, you could tell her that like your hubby has connects or whatever, and then we can use like somewhat legal means to actually get it for her if we need to.
I think that approach sounds good. Yeah, I'm like, well, just we have our ways. If you can provide the coin, we can make sure it happens. Just
Okay.
We definitely know some old ladies that can get us the stuff. I'm specifically talking about Daphnia, who's the lady at evidence lockup.
totally.
Yes. Not old ghost-possessed witches who float around 2 feet off the ground.
Correct.
Excellent.
I feel like we've actually made progress on the mandate. I don't. How do we determine that this job is done? Is it like
Yeah, I don't know.
when we take our clothes off and become ourselves again, or is it do we take breaks in between? Like how are we gonna play this? Because it's like undercover, but we're like, are we deep undercover? Are we undercover for just a couple of days? Do we just like reject the Lord's offer and leave and then poof out? But like, I feel like maintaining this cover is pretty solid. It's just that we won't be able to do a lot of like precinct time per se, but that's granted by the mandate. The mandate gives us money and functions, so like we can show up, and if like the chief is like, hey, you haven't been at your desk, I'll just be like, mandate business, we're undercover, see ya. Where are you undercover? Some criminals in town. I hear it's the Six Towers district. Isn't there a Six Towers gang? Sorry. How do you folks feel? Like, where do you want to call this job? Like, it feels like we found a bunch of clues. We haven't, like, sussed out every piece of information, but I feel like it's probably a good stopping point. Yeah,
I think it's good. And I think you've laid groundwork where you can come back to this if you need to.
Sounds good. Cool. So I guess there is a follow-up question, which is, how much longer do we want to go?
I'm feeling pretty good. I know it's earlier where you are, but it's up to you. I feel pretty good today.
Lauren?
Yeah, I can go a bit longer.
Okay.
Like 30 minutes? Shall we do that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good. Let's go through the it's a job and downtimes sequence. So, there is an odd rule in Blades about heat, which we're going to talk about here for a hot second. So, at the end of each job, we go through the whole shenaniganery. So for duty, I feel like we earn 2 duty per operation by default, and if we made progress on the mandate, we take +1. So I feel like 3 is right. Does that sound correct to everyone else?
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Cool. Now, in good/bad news, that means that our duty rolls over, which means that theoretically we go up in rank. So we would become rank 2 now.
Awesome.
So, like, we have been gaining enough clues and progressing the mandate enough that our rank increases. Now, I don't, off the top of my head, know what the Blades protocol is for rank advancement, so if somebody wants to look that up, I would really appreciate it, because it might be nothing, but I think there is some, like, dividends or something. Somebody gets XP. I don't even remember. It's been a while.
I will look. I don't remember seeing it, but I will look.
All right. So if the unit endangered the peace or interfered with law and order, take -2 duty. I don't think we did either.
Nope.
Now, there is a rule about heat, and I'm about to be a cheesy mofo, which is that if you do a job completely quietly, you don't get any heat. Now, I feel like we haven't been found out, we have made no arrests, we have accused nobody or otherwise incited any reaction, so I would like to suggest that this is the equivalent of a Blades gang doing a job, leaving no trace behind. They don't get any rep, but they also don't gain any heat.
Yep.
Alright, cool. And finally, paperwork and entanglements. I feel like we might gain 1 heat from this, by the way. I'm just saying that. Because I think that we actually don't do paperwork this round. We're just, like, still undercover. And they're just like, wait, but where are you undercover? I'm like, sorry, undercover! You know, like...
Yep.
Too undercover to answer. Sorry. Yep.
So I am blowing off my paperwork. Up to you what you're doing. You may actually want... So, I have to warn you about something. Rowan is suggesting that somebody has lied to the Emperor. And I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't know if you want to actually, like, push paperwork up the Imperial line. I actually have no idea how you want to play this hand.
Oh, that is a really good question. That is really tough. So I feel like on the one hand, mentioning someone's lied would at least like shift the spotlight into some like area like away from us.
We don't have any clues. We don't know who has issued the mandate, and there's a good chance that if you run it up normal channels without knowing that, whoever it is will intercept it anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I don't know if that changes your action one way or the other, though.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of feel like until we have a better idea of like who that person is, it's very dangerous to sort of have that sort of paper trail of like, here are some like red lights saying that like, oh, there's like shady shit happening like in this echelon of society, like, and it's coming from like me. Until we sort of have a better idea of what's happening.
Okay. All right. So you are writing a report, but you're not. Are you trying to achieve something by this? I'm just curious.
I'm just wondering. I'm trying to like figure out how little I can say before it counts as like not doing paperwork because there's like so little detail in what we're doing.
I mean, you can choose not to do it. We can just take the 1 heat for not doing paperwork.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. We might still. Wait, did we reduce heat? We did reduce heat, and I got a 6, so it should be at 0 heat, right?
Yes, because you got a crit, which reduced heat. Plus, we got one of the clock for reducing pressure.
So I'm gonna put us at 1 heat just so that we have it. All right, cool. All right. That sounds good. Now for the entanglement, we roll dice equal to pressure and read the result according to the heat. So let me do a quick entanglement.
Yay! I'm sure it will be fantastic.
3. That's actually not. That's the first time I think that's the first time we've seen that. 3 is a clean coat or cooperation. A clean coat is the Bluecoats expect you to take a cut of a score in exchange for looking the other way and keeping your mouth shut. Take 1 coin and 1 heat, or refuse and take -1 status with the Bluecoats. The other opposite is cooperation, which is a +3 status faction asks you for a favor. We don't have any +3 status faction, so if you don't have a +3 status faction, you avoid entanglements. Judd, it's your call. I do want to point one small fact out, which is the fact that that lady did offer us money, and I did suggest that we perhaps take it. That may actually count as a clean coat. I'm just saying. It would give the mandate a coin, which we would use. It's theoretically being on the take, but it is. Yeah. It's also a weird on the take, right? Because we're going to be putting it right back into the job.
Right. Yeah, I'm cool. Matter of fact, I think she gives you 2 coin.
All right. Hey. So a clean coat. We take a coin and a heat. So I'm going to mark the heat because we're technically on the take. We're hiding the fact that we got this money from someone.
Yeah.
So we're at 2 heat now, which is cool. All right. And finally, factions. Was killing involved? No. Were arrests involved? No. We can look at the clocks, but I feel like none of them have been touched. We haven't really changed society or the city, so unless somebody thinks otherwise...
I agree.
All right. And then finally, downtime actions. Do you want to go riding in the Deathlands to fulfill your advice? I don't know what your stress is at.
I really do need to. I think I'm at 6, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Issa is back. Like, it was just paperwork. It was just like some embassy paperwork hadn't been done correctly, and like after a couple of weeks, it gets done correctly, and she's back. It was just the city council being jerks. That they didn't like revoke it. They just said this paperwork wasn't done properly, and they found an I that wasn't dotted. But she's back now.
Well, Teller is very much worried about her disappearance. I feel like, someone says that paperwork needs T's crossed and I's dotted, but it could also mean something else far more serious.
Yes. You need to bloody these people's noses.
Of course. I have a dear friend who is rather apt at that particular skill set.
Good.
I may have a nasty job suggestion for our next job. Continue. There may be bloody noses. And
I think I ask her like hypothetically of course, everyone in the upper tiers of society serves the emperor quite loyally, right? Isa?
What upper tiers do you mean?
Why, people close to the emperor, the
In
ones
his,
who he holds close.
in his court? Yeah, I would think so. It's a royal court. I'm sure there's intrigue like any other court.
Oh, of course. I
What prompted this question?
I had my ear to the ground and happened to hear some gossip, probably just gossip, about someone who may not have the emperor's best interest at heart, someone who was quite close to him. And I just wondered if you had heard similar, I'm
No.
sure if the people lower down the food chain are talking about such matters, surely you have heard. You're well connected.
I don't.
It's troubling.
Can you tell me anything else about the source?
The source is connected to the families of the city council, but
They're blowhards and liars. They barely know what's going on. They definitely. I would take that with a huge grain of salt.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps they are just telling lies, or if that source has incorrect information. It's heartening to hear that I may be incorrect. Any other news you heard while you were away?
No, I didn't go far.
Well,
I didn't make it all the way to the Imperial City.
then I'm sure you are all the more pleased to be out here riding the wind in your hair.
Indeed.
And I think I'll roll my dice.
Roll those dice.
One, two, three, four, five, six. I don't overindulge. I don't know if I managed to not. I had six stress and I rolled a 6.
Yep, you folks get stressed, without a doubt.
It's going to keep happening with 2 people. That's just how it goes. Until we get a little more juice under the wings.
Awesome.
I have an odd question for actually both of you. So I feel like one of my downtime actions is actually going to be riding into Deathlands with Maya. And I guess what I'm asking is, I have two possible projects in mind, and I want to talk to you because there's no rules for this. These are the way that you break the rules of play is you do some long-term projects. And the 2 things that I'm actually considering is, one, I would like to get Maya to formally be my friend, like as in a friend on my sheet, so that like spending time with her and during downtime would count as a benefit. But the other one is I'm curious if I can pick up another vice, which is riding horses into Deathlands.
I knew you'd come around.
And I don't know if those are the same thing, or if they're 2 separate clocks, and we just say like, all right, it's 2 6 clocks, work on whichever one you want first. Or whatever. Like, so like, that's what I'm asking is, 1, do you feel this is possible? 2, what kind of clocks are we talking about?
Yeah, I think put Maya on your sheet has been pretty well established in the fiction already. So let's call that a 4 clock. And then Deathland, ride in the Deathlands vice. I think let's call that a 6 clock.
Okay. Cool. I'll work on the Maya clock first. So I feel like the way that I'm working
So
on...
hold up.
Yeah.
So you want to pile another vice on top of the old vice?
Yeah. Having 2
Okay.
vices. It's not that weird. Like,
Cool.
you might
Yep.
take drugs for stupor or for pleasure or for both. Like...
Yep. No, I had a thought in my head, but I don't like it. So let's.
What's the thought? Talk to me.
Thought is that there's like a jerk GM in me who wants to say, in order to do that, you have to sever your feeling of obligations from your friends. But I like that. I like that it's a second one. So let's just stick with that.
Okay, let's go with that. All right. So I'm going to roll relate because what I'm trying to do is genuinely relate to Maya, right? And I'm like, in order for us to keep cover, I'm gonna have to become better at riding, and I'm gonna have to get used to whatever it is that you people do to like not have to wear gas masks, which is part of what I think is gonna be the vice clock. But for right now, I'm just worrying about like riding on a horse, and I feel like that's sort of where we're building our rapport and our friendship. So I am going to just roll some dice.
I love it. Friendship.
Yeah, it's unusual. This is not a thing that usually happens in Blades, but I'm gonna roll some real late, and we'll see how it goes. Boop. I said poop. 5. I get 2 segments on the clock, so I'm halfway to being Maya's friend.
Yay.
Cool. Maya, do you have any other actions you want to take?
Oh, yeah. I think I want to train once more because I think if XP goes our way at the end of the session, I'll be able to get an ability. That'll be grand.
Cool.
And I feel like I'm still kind of in pursuit of beyond reproach. So I feel like, this I feel like can be fictionally wrapped into teaching Draw how to ride horses and that kind of thing, and looking very impressive and in my element.
Cool. And just gaining confidence in this crazy place.
I should have dropped the breathing techniques to like sort of, inhale the toxicity of the Deathlands and fun stuff.
Awesome. What else do we have for downtime?
I'm gonna be vicing, which actually I think is interesting because I think after watching me get beat up and then hiding all my bruises under long sleeves while I'm undercover, I think there's probably a moment where so like my vice is obligation, right? And I think that one of the things that's happening is this is around the time where we discovered that Rona was actually staying with me when she had the warrant on her head. So I had actually like stashed her in my apartment while I was undercover, and there was probably like some off-screen or maybe even on-screen discussion of like, like I'm not using the place, you might as well. Like, it's a Bluecoats house. What are they going to do? Search my house for you? I don't think so. And so, like, we're packing up the goods, but I think that Hopper's actually there, and I'm having a conversation with them about keeping their heads low and staying out of the way, because when I stir up waves, everyone's going to get hit. And I'm like, look, I know that you may have thought that our old life is done, but, like, I have to take care of you while I'm doing this. Like, I am ready to take all of the fire that they throw at me, but at this point, they're shooting past me and straight at you. And I can't have that. So, like, tell me what I can do to help you. Like, whether it's to get out of the city or keep your heads down or stay out of the limelight or otherwise, like, get gone so that, like, they cannot shoot at you.
I think they, like, Hopper and Rona look at each other as if like they've been talking about this.
Of course they have.
And like, you didn't say the right thing. And they say, getting out of the city is like a baby scoundrel fairy tale. It's not something that happens. It just isn't. If you want us, if we're going to be in the firing line, we're in it. So fucking bring us on board, whatever this bullshit is. How can we help?
And I think I flip over the murder board with the cards and those string and everything else, and I take a look at it and go like, well, Right now, I'm looking at a rich kid and a cop who think that they could walk the streets without repercussions, and I think we'll leave it at that for now.
Cool.
Let me roll my vice, see how this goes. Maybe there is more conversation. I don't know. I keep rolling conviction. Wait, there's an actual vice button. Haha. I get 1 bonus die because I'm vicing with friends. I take down 4 stress. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still at 4. We'll have to fix that. Okay. Cool.
No one overindulges.
Well, it's because we're chock full of stress. Even if we roll 6s, we can't sync. What I actually need to do is buy the functional vice. Once I get the writing vice, my next special ability is functional vice, so we can vice better. Alright. I really want to train, but I don't think that I can, because I need to rest and recover. I will also take this, you guys can give me a suggestion, particularly you, Judd, because you're the one that afflicted me with this. I got a fear in my belly.
Yeah.
It's level 1, so like it'll only take a 4 o'clock to get going. But how could I recuperate away this fear in my belly?
That fear came from what was the nature of the fear? It was like being in too deep, that kind of thing. Was
Yep. Being out of my depth, not knowing the shit that I'm supposed to be knowing, having more than my life on the line, right? Because, like, somebody in a gang is gonna kill you, right? Like, the worst that can happen to me is I'm gonna get shivved. Maybe shivved by an assassin, my soul exploded. But, like, if the nobility gets a whiff of this, they're going to destroy, like, I don't have parents, but, like, my mom, my dad, people that owe them money, my dog, like, everybody. So, so like, how do I shake this fear? What's a good, because like you work on healing clocks the same way that you would long-term projects. I need to roll something, so I need to like have an idea of what the hell I'm doing.
Could you talk to other people who have been undercover and like?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think like through the investigators, you can talk to like other Bluecoats who have worked with investigators who have gone undercover, and they can help you. Let's put a face to one of them.
Is it an investigator? Or...
You said that, like, hungrily. Do you want it to be an investigator?
That might be interesting. The other option is it could be that ink rink.
Oh, wow.
The kooky guy who does anything for a story and has been digging at this for a while.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's up to you. Give me a name. I'm happy to do either.
Let's have it be an investigator for right now.
Okay. And please give them a name.
They are... Ramira Salkara.
Cool. Aruvian?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll have a talk with her.
Yeah, she's this awesome Aruvian woman in like a kick-ass action sari that you can run around in, and yeah, she talks to you about being undercover in this Aruvian cult, or this cult that was preying on Aruvians, and so that was her in. And she was there for 6 months, before she could get up the. She says, I was there for 6 months before I could get up the what we needed to bring them down, and I was sleeping with a gun under my pillow, and
she says that, and my eyes light up like, oh, that might help. But go on.
yeah. She says, don't sleep with a gun under your pillow, but sleep with a gun nearby, but not under your pillow.
My eyes stop sparkling quite as much, but I think what I say is so I've only been undercover for 2 weeks, and hearing that it takes like 6 months sometimes to close a case is, does it ever get easier?
I don't know if it get easier. You get more of a toolbox, and you get better at finding your exits. You get better at depending on your partners and leaning on them when they need to be leaned on. The better team you have around you, the better it is. It's just the way it is. You can't do it alone.
All right.
There's one more thing. These cases can feel very personal. It's just a case. There'll be another one after.
Man, I have no idea if I can actually lie to her and pretend like this isn't just personal. And I think what I say is like, this one feels pretty personal. Which is my way of being like, you have no idea, lady.
Mine did too.
I have actually like one more question, which is I tell her, I say, the more I thought that I had a stable life, right? Like I had a job, I paid my dues, I went to work every morning. And the more that I do this, like I was worried that being undercover, I would begin taking on that identity. But the problem that I'm running into is that I'm starting to see my like regular life as the illusion. Like how do you know who you are underneath it all? Like if you play too many roles, how do you know who the person is when you take the mask off?
You've got to find something here in this real world that's a touchstone for you. Because without some kind of meaning here, it can be family, it can be a hobby, it can be anything that makes living in this place worth it. It doesn't have to be people. It doesn't have to be anything that people tell you you're supposed to have. But you've got to have something.
All right, cool. I think I'm
Cool.
I'm relating to this lady. I'm gonna make some rolls.
Awesome.
I don't think she's a friend, so boop. Hey, 2 ticks on my get better clock.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. I think that's downtimes for me.
Okay. Lauren, were you done? Was Maya done?
So unless you want to look on the mandate, these are mandate-free actions. We still have that, right?
That's right. Do you want to reduce heat? Do you want to work on removing pressure? How do you want to tackle that?
Good. We have two heat, 3 heat.
We have 2 heat. I think. Let me open up the mandate.
Yeah, I think we have 2 heat.
We have 2
so
heat.
maybe both on the pressure.
So as long
clock
as you
thing.
get, the heat is not too high depending on what we go for. Although I'm gonna laugh, but we're gonna probably eat a pressure next time.
Ugh.
So like if you wanna reduce pressure, that would be great. But
Yeah, so I kind of feel like no matter what we do, we're gonna hit 9 heat.
Yeah,
which would
yeah,
give
because
us
we're
purpose.
I guarantee you we're going after Bowmore. Although we're doing it in an interesting fashion. If the kid wants to play gangbusters on the street, cool. I'll play right
Totally.
back.
Excellent. So I'll reduce some pressure. What does this look like? I was just feeding some bogus story to our journalist friend about like stuff that's going on with the red sashes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
How does that sound?
Edlin, yeah, I think Edlin meets you at the site of the Red Sash bust. And he says, so you're saying that this drug is a Peruvian gang problem?
uh, yes, that is what our investigation is uncovered. But perhaps this problem may just go away. There are reports that the drug is drying up.
He writes it down, and then he puts his pad down, like in his back pocket, and he says, off the record, Miss Tui, my racist, awful readership is going to eat that up with a fork and a spoon and a knife. They're going to love it. That's exactly what they want. They want a big, scary, brown scoundrel to blame this on.
Well,
but between you and me, we know that there's something else going on. I can't write the name Bowmore or Rowan or McClellan. I can't write those things down yet because I don't have that much evidence yet. But if I write it down before you find it, and if I find out that you're on the take, I'm going to bury you. So, now that we're back on the record, do you have anything else you want to say, Ms. Tui?
I think she smiles so sweetly, and she says, like, that is all. I'm sure we will speak soon as matters progress.
I'm sure. He walks away dejected.
Oh, God.
So
I'm going back to Crow's Foot. See you later. What were you saying, Strash?
I have to have a conversation with Lauren about 2 facts here.
Okay.
Okay, the first fact is in our control and is interesting. If you'll recall, the watch commander, McClellan, went to go talk to Iron Hook prison boss lady, and told her that we were taken care of. I would like to point out 2 facts. Fact the first. The eel's name is Clave Helker is the eel, but he is probably assigned or tied to McClellan because the moment we were reported to him, he pushed data up. What I will tell you for sure is that the district that kidnapped my friend Hawker had a watch commander named McClellan, who also registered with his cop the fact that she's protected by noble families. Which means that we have another point of investigation now. We have somebody else that we can put on the goddamn board. We can actually make progress on the mandate. 2. How much do you know about the Spirit Wardens?
A bit. I know that they're not to be fucked around with, and...
Do you specifically know about their masks?
I don't know.
So, they have this thing... There's no easy way for me to explain it. This is Blade's canon. I'm just gonna barf it out. Spirit Wardens can be anyone. Nobody knows who they are, because when they put their mask on, it, like, scrubs your memory of who they were as people before they put the masks on.
Ah, right.
So, we can't just identify a Spirit Warden. We can walk up to one and we can recognize the same mask, but when they have the mask on, their identity is the mask. They're not the person under the mask to anybody observing it. There's a really powerful ritual that goes along with it. There's some, like, mystical juju that's, like, never been really super clarified. Maybe when the Spirit Warden's playbook comes out, we'll have more information on that, but we don't know the details of it. We just know that there is a ritual and it does this to people observing it. We could say, like, no, we're badasses enough, maybe we can resist it because we have stress because we're PCs, maybe we can remember something, I don't know. I think that that's foolish. I don't think we don't play that game. I think we play a different game. We know that the Spirit Wardens are doing something. They're involved somehow. I can't quite put my mental hand around it to, like, know the answers. But I think that what we need to do is we need to start a clock that we're going to work on during downtimes, which gives us information. We want to figure out who a Spirit Warden is. Because even though them putting on the mask will scrub memories, by deducing that there is a spirit warden present. Like, if we can catch them without the mask, we can find it on them. They're always supposed to have it near them at some point. Like, if we can get an in, if we can put two and two together, if we can, like, track one or trace one or put together, like, patterns and stuff like that, it may be a very big clock, and we may have to work on it through, like, half a dozen actions. But I feel like we need to figure out who a spirit warden is outside of their spirit warden identity if we're going to make any headway into, like, that area. It's really complicated, but it's like the only math / calculation that I can think of, right? Like,
and I think that those masks are like the height of ectoplasmic technology, but they're also the height of Severosi warding. Like there's like they use whatever, so like there's both on there. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's hybrid technology.
I'm 0% shocked and also very impressed, but that's going to be on you because I do not have any Cerverosi juju warding stuff. So I mean, Cobb could help if we could get him some tech or something, but like, yeah, he's more on the ectoplasmic side, he's less on the Severosi side, so you may have to do some of the heavy lifting there.
Excellent. It excites me.
All right. So now that we understand this, something to think about for next time, maybe is I was checking my watch. Something to think about for next time maybe is I have a feeling that we're gonna go after the kid, Finn
Beaumont.
Finn Beaumont.
No.
Yeah, because Lizette, we can work on Lizette some more, but we can go after Finn Beaumont, because if Finn Beaumont wants to run around the streets and play as if he's a crook, well, then he's going to eat consequences like a crook. And I think that we've got muscle to catch him when he's, like, outside of his normal purview. So we'll see. We'll see if we can catch him on the out. We may have to, like, acquire an asset of finding out where the hell he is and, like, what the hell he's doing. And then if we can catch him with out in the open, we can probably put the screws to him in a way that standard Bluecoat protocols would not allow for. So, yeah, that's my plan. I don't know how you feel. Do you have other avenues of investigation or anything else you want to pursue next time?
No, I think we're very aligned. Like, I think that was where I was interested in sort of pursuing the investigation, was following like the direction that Lizette took us in.
This case has sprawl. Every time I think that we're like zeroing in on something, and there's like half a dozen more leads. Like I have. All right.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, trying to crack open Spirit Wardens is. All right. Cool. Shall we do XP?
Do I need to like roll dice for reducing pressure?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Great goodness gracious. Yeah, your interview with the ink rake. Please go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I guess I'll roll a little exploit, maybe? Like,
yeah.
Sounds appropriate.
Sorry, I was so excited about that McClellan name in my notes that I just completely cut everything off because, you know.
Oh no, it was
brilliant.
I'm glad you jumped in and put two and two together, because I was like, like that's quite huge. I got a 2.
It's one tick, but it's something.
It is something. Cool.
Drav was having his was that house freshly painted green moment from True Detective.
Yeah.
And,
totally.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. Shall we do the XPs?
Yeah.
So we do character XPs first. Do you want to go first, Maya?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. It didn't roll any disparate actions. Mark XP for if you honorably did your duty in service to the Imperium, or you did what's right. This is getting more and more ambiguous as we go on.
It sure is. But I think you did.
I like to think I did. Deep down in my heart.
Let's take a look. Did you do it more than once?
Yeah, good question. I think like the ones that come to mind are like just by proxy of going undercover and looking into that kind of avenue to like figure out who's doing this, which is sort of in pursuit of the mandate.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I would say two.
oh, thanks. Express beliefs drives heritage background. I feel like that was what I did the most of the session was lots of ghostwriting and relying upon my expertise in horse riding and that kind
You
of
managed to
thing.
convince Drav, who was totally like, horse riding? What nonsense is this? To be like, well, yes, I am a horse connoisseur.
Oh, totally. I've won the game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's a good day when that happens.
Awesome. And I have not yet struggled with issues of bias or trauma because I have yet to have a little less than 6 stress after a score.
All right.
That is me.
Cool.
So, my XP is you have served your precinct by laying down the law or doing what's right. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I really did that.
Oh, totally.
Next up, it's you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean,
Yeah.
That's yeah. All of my crime backgrounds, bailing out my friends, all of my big talks with how I'm losing my identity and I'm becoming who I used to be, kind of stuff.
Oh, totally.
And finally, struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. So I don't think that I struggled with the issues from my vice per se. I mean, I did get beat up a bit, but that's not struggling. But in terms of my trauma is obsession. And I feel like my friends being captured because of my obsession is definitely struggling with my trauma.
Yeah.
I don't know that anything else that happened tonight was related, but I feel like that actually kind of stung.
Yep.
Cool. So that's
Yeah,
5.
I was honestly worried I went too far when I had them. You had this look on your face, and I was like, "Oh my god, I really upset Strash."
I mean, yes, but no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense of like, I felt it, right? But like
Okay.
in that like good role playing moment feelings,
Okay.
like
Okay, good.
holy shit, my friends, how far am I willing to go to get them out? And there was this like, it was close a couple of times. Like I was looking at that cop lady who's like, yeah, come at me, and I'm like, I could kill you right now. And I was like, no, I'm not a blade, I'm a blue coat. And so like, I had to dial it back. I was like, you crossed the line. So, but I thought that was like, that was really cool because like I was feeling it, right? Like I was like genuinely upset. I was like, no, you come at me. You come at me. Don't come at my friends. You come at me. And I thought that was pretty cool. And like that's what entanglements are for, right? Like if your friends are never in the crosshairs, you never really feel the consequences of your actions. So I think you did great, Jed.
Cool. Awesome.
Awesome. So let's do the mandate XPs. Ahem. All right. So did we enforce the law or progress the mandate? I feel like 2 on the progress.
Yeah.
Because we picked up a shit ton of clues and stuff.
Yeah, you did. You did.
All right, so I'll mark XP immediately, and then contend with challenges above your current station. Just a bit. How are you folks feeling? I hear the Imperial Court may be involved, and also, did we just like get an invite to get livery for the Rowan House?
I think we did.
Awesome. 2 there, and then bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. So our reputation is ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel like we bolstered the fact that we are ambitious, and or do we feel like we've developed a new reputation?
Oh, good question. I feel like it's rather ambitious to be like, go undercover, like, don't worry about us.
And I feel like you might have developed a new one as trustworthy.
Okay.
Or you know, straight with your word or something, because you made a deal with the Lampblacks and you made good on
honorable.
It. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna put my text there, and then the last one is express the goals, drive, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I feel like that one's almost always 2 XP, but I feel like maybe we just list it for the fans, and also because like I enjoy getting props with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously our goals and drives are the mandates, but like I feel like I feel like my favorite Maya moment was actually, I am not sure whether she lied to her friend. Because her friend was like, I was involved, also I fucked Drav, and the reason his whole gang is dead is me. And she was like, but you keep my name out of it. And you were like, yes, I will keep your name out of it. And I'm still not sure if you were lying or if you're intending to do that.
Me neither.
And I don't want to know the answer. I want to find out the answer in play, obviously. So like,
I almost asked. I almost was like, the camera's on her face. What does it show? What does it show?
She's like, a 6 on an express roll. Sorry.
I'll
So
keep
that's
that
my
to myself.
do you have a belief or a drive, the other 2 of you, that we can list to bolster this XP? Not that we're not getting it, but
Ooh, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I really felt like conflict, as you said, in that moment where they came after like Drop's friends, and I definitely felt that inner conflict where I could tell you wanted to really punch someone, and didn't, because it would frustrate our goal.
yeah.
I feel like that totally counts.
Well, it's really funny because the reason I haven't punched her is now another avenue of pursuit we can follow. And on one hand, Drav's like, I did the right thing. I did the right thing. On the other hand, Drav's like, I should have punched her.
Totally. That's on the way back home. I Drav has replayed that moment in his head where he's like, if only I just punched you in the face.
So close. Someday. All right, cool. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some. All right, so we actually get a crew advance, which means that each of us is gonna get stash. Someone's gonna have to look at what the rules are for that. I think it's 1 + 2 per level. Is that correct?
I think that sounds about right, because we have 1 coin from...
Well, this is stash, right? Like when the crew rolls over, you get stash, so I would get... I think it's 1 + 2 per level. I'd have to double check. I haven't looked at my Blades book in a bit for that. So we get some stash, but more importantly, we have to talk about advances. And I have a suggestion for an advance.
Good, lay it on me.
So this is something that I really felt this session, and it's something that I think is going to help us overall. It is secretly lower on my priority scale because I feel like we need heat reduction more than we need this, but I feel like this is killing us. So there is an ability from the Bravos called Forged in Fire. What it does is it just universally gives you +1d to resist. I feel like our skill sets are really kind of gapped right now, and in particular we can only ever go to 3 because of how like the sheets are set up. So like resistance rolls are really hard for us. Like that's why like I picked up 4 stress on a resist and whatnot, and I think that this would help us like stabilize our stress purchases like overall.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, the other option is we could take something like, there's actually a semi-decent Bluecoat, or I'm sorry, a mandate ability called Friends in High Places. When you reduce heat on the unit, take -1 heat. When the unit receives funds, take +1 coin. That's not a bad one, but there is there are other like there's a different like Friends in High Places ability from like the Hawkers that automatically gives you -1 heat anytime you do a job, which might actually keep us from like constantly nailing the pressure margin.
Those are both super good because like whenever we do a score against one above us, it's like automatic 9. But so if we had like 1 less stress, we would not keep hitting that so much. I think annoyingly both sound good because both of those are killing us. Like I think that's where we're hemorrhaging a lot of. The
problem is that pressure we get these pressure reduction clocks, which sound like they're a big deal, But at the same time, the heat reduction clocks are not going to be that much better because, like, if we pick up eight heat, that's the equivalent of an 8-tick clock, right? So
yeah, true.
I don't know. It's a complicated shenanigan we're in. I feel like we need 2 abilities to maximize the heat stuff, and I feel like our pressure, maybe like relieving the resistances now, maybe slightly better.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take Forged in Fire. I'll make a note. All right, cool.
Forged Undercover.
And I already know what my next purchase is. I'm going to be buying a spider ability, which is the ability to remote assist. It's the 2 free assistances per mission. So
nice.
It's effectively extending my stress track.
And I grabbed Beyond Reproach, which I can ping in the chat if people are curious.
Awesome.
Whoop.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me switch over so that they can see that. Hang on, I gotta get my windows open. There we are. There you go, chat. Enjoy.
I can also read it out loud. That's the thing I can do.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can push yourself to do both of the following. Impress onlookers with your integrity and authority as an agent of the Imperium.
Nice.
And cause them to hesitate and reconsider their actions.
That's pretty rad. Okay, I think that's it for XPs. I think we're done for now. Are we playing in 2 weeks? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, folks. All right, chat. I'm gonna start on this end. We can swing around. Hey, I'm Strash at Strash A. You can find me actually streaming here on Actual Play pretty regularly, like every Thursday night. I think we have Bane of Blades, and every other Saturday we have Bluecoats. I would tell you what I'm excited about, but I'm going to be honest, this case is eating up my brain space right now. I'm super pumped about this game. So hopefully you will all join us in 2 weeks, and we'll continue investigating this and see how high this goes. What about you, Lauren?
Yes, Lauren Shide at the Streaky Me. Oh my god, like I have this mental murder board in my brain of like all the notes that I have that are sort of like I need to like actually put that on the wall to like make all these connections make sense. I'm just looking forward to like digging further into this case. And also a bit terrified because holy crap, we dipped our toes into higher society and that murdered us almost a couple of times. So it was nice to like have that breather of let's go to some red sessions and so like just some other gags and stuff. And now we're getting back into it. I'm like, okay, like setting a game face on like Warpaint training montage, like Eye of the Tiger. So I'm very pumped for all of that. How about you, Judd?
I'm excited that the case is moving along. I feel like well, we should talk about this all when we're like done and we have like distance, but this is very, very different than running another Blades game because you really kind of have to have things set up beforehand and then not have a bunch of other stuff set up. And then there's a lot of middle ground and it's cool. I liked it, but my worry was that I was going to make something way too complicated and you were never going to figure it out. And by the time you did, you were going to be so exhausted that you were like, what just happened? I don't, what? So it's been cool to watch you all uncover stuff and like actually be excited about it because that's the scary thing about, I think like not a mystery, but an investigation because is that you'll uncover things and be like, yeah, I don't know. All right. Yeah. Write that down, I guess. And so this is great. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been excited about this. I've been writing a bunch lately, which has been fun. And I've been talking about gaming a lot lately and talking about it on my podcast, Daydreaming About Dragons, which is cool. And that's it. It's good. Things are good. I'm excited. I'm always, when it comes to even like the week before this game, I'm always like, oh, it's game week. I get super excited. So
You folks don't get to see this, but we have like a little chat where we talk about, like we just talk to each other to like organize stuff and whatnot. And invariably, Judd's like, "OMG, game is coming Saturday! So excited!" So like, yeah, it's super true. I can vouch for this.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm really excited to see you all try to snag Finn Bowmore and squeeze them. That's
I can't wait. It's gonna feel so good.
It
That's
can
terrible.
also go very bad. So we will see.
also go very poorly. Yep. Things go poorly without a doubt. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see you all try. That'll be fun.
Oh, totally.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a long game, but it was awesome, and hopefully you will join us again in 2 weeks for some more Bluecoats on actual play.
I
Have a
can't
great
wait.
night, everyone.
Thank